Hi, everybody. It's Susie from Master's Hand, and I was so excited. I've been looking forward to this all day. Actually, for the last couple of weeks, I've been looking forward to this because, guys, I'm so excited. We have somebody famous on here, Master's Hand, and we have Tim and Lisa Trudell. Right? Yeah, Lisa, it's you. Welcome. Welcome. And we're so excited to be able to talk about your new book. Actually, you have 3 books, but this is your latest book. Well, let's see. Okay, can you see it? 100 to do before in Nebraska before you die. Awesome. And here I'm going to show the other ones that you have. Oh, let's see. Okay. 100 things to do in Omaha before you die, because you're actually you have roots, or you have roots in the Tacoma area, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, because I'm originally from Kennard, born in Blair, and then when my mom married my stepdad, but my dad, we moved to Oakland. So we lived in Oakland, which is Burke County, for about 5 years before we moved to Fremont. And then after the military, I settled in Omaha. And Lisa, your dad still lives in Tacoma.
Yes, that's our claim to fame here in Tacoma is Lisa. So tell us who your dad
is. My dad is Ken Dunham, and his wife is Angie Beth Dunham, and they've lived there on and off for many years now, decades.
Yeah, and we love them.
So I know that they've been frequent shoppers of yours and stops at your place quite a bit.
Been very supportive of us. We really appreciate him. Okay, so I started to tell you, and then I quit because I got a tangent. But this is the 3rd book. Unique Eats and Eateries of Omaha. And Scott and I really enjoyed this book, especially. But tonight, we're going to talk about this one here, 100 Things to Do in Nebraska Before You Die. And this is your newest and latest book. And so when you were writing this book, did you ever dream that we would be in a pandemic in the middle of
Well, actually, when we were working on it, I remember one night, late night, after about 10 pots of coffee, I think, I woke Lisa up and I said, what would really, really be awesome is if this book came out in the middle of a pandemic. And, after she slapped me around and, called me silly and that. But no, seriously, I mean, of all the, we actually worried because of the name of the book, with the title of the book, having die in it, but fortunately, we've only had one person question the title. And when I explained to her that it was, based on bucket lists, she was like, oh, yeah, okay, now I understand. But really, and she's not even from Nebraska. She was a friend of ours. She's a friend of ours from Alaska. And, that really, this whole thing is just, of course, it's turned the whole world upside down. But we've really had to, that was the last thing in our mind would be that there would be a pandemic and, and people are, stuck inside their homes for, at least a month and a half to 2 months. That's just amazing. Yeah. It's just incredible.
Yeah. Well, what I was really impressed about with you guys, Lisa contacted me. She said, we're thinking about doing a virtual book tour. I'm like, you're genius. That's what you do when you have something. You just figure you're going down a path and that path is blocked. Well, you look for other ways of doing it. And what a genius idea to have a virtual book tour. Where would you have been tonight? Where would this book tour have taken you tonight if it wasn't?
We would have been in Fremont at Milady Coffee. So, but instead, we're at Master's Hand in
Yeah.
Tacoma.
Awesome.
So, that's a pretty good deal.
Well, I'm glad.
We were actually supposed to be at your place in
With the
Easter
sweets.
weekend with as part of the spring fling.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've had major changes because of this.
Mm-hmm. I think everyone has been affected, definitely.
Yeah.
But we're still hoping that you'll still come to our spring fling, and you'll.
Oh, we will. We will.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah, we love that.
Okay.
Even though the 1 year it was pretty sure it's not going to be 17 degrees out on May 30th.
Pretty sure. Yes, I remember that year you came. I was so excited.
Oh,
the walking tour
yeah.
is coming. I thought the walking
but
tour.
You still had a great turnout.
We did.
Yeah, it was a great turnout. People had fun.
Yeah, we're grateful for that.
Definitely.
So yeah, we hope that hope you come.
Well, we have asked for people's favorites.
I missed that.
We've been asking what people's favorite desserts are, and we're getting quite a few responses. I know that's one of your favorite things to talk about, Susie, is sweets and desserts, right? So some of the responses so far. So Lindsay said strawberry ice cream.
Ah, yes.
Debbie Hubbard says chocolate fudge brownies with walnuts.
Uh-huh. Tim's holding up some fudge there.
We've got tiramisu.
Yep.
We've got cheesecake.
Yeah.
Ooh, some Master's Hand
fudge.
Hey Tim, I
strawberry shortcake.
I sent that
turtle sundaes
chocolate care package to you a couple weeks ago, and you still have.
I'm sure what?
I sent you that.
Oh yeah. But you have to pace yourself with the sweets, because otherwise it's all gone in like one setting, and then it's the rest of the month is shot. So
yeah. Well, you guys will have to have some.
Oh yes.
Well, let's get started on some questions. So you've been asking questions in the feed there, or how are you doing that? How did you come up with that, Lisa?
So I was welcoming everybody to the party, and I asked them what their favorite dessert was.
Okay. Good. Okay.
And so we've got the latest one says strawberry cream cake roll.
Yum.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Okay, that just came up on mine. Connie said we made a strawberry cream cake roll today. Hi, Connie. Thanks so much for watching us on our virtual book tour. So any of you who are late to come to the party, I just wanted just a real quick rundown, a recap. This is the latest book of Tim and Lisa Trudell, and they just wrote this book, and we're doing a little tour of it here. And I wanted to ask, the first thing I always like to know about people is, are they a milk, dark, or white chocolate lovers? So Tim, you go first. Are you a milk, dark, white chocolate lover, or are you more of a meat and potatoes man?
Well, when it comes to the chocolates, milk chocolate for me. That'd be what I would like. That's my favorite.
Okay. All right. And Lisa, are you milk or dark or white chocolate lover?
I would say.
I didn't catch that.
I'd say dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate. You're a house divided. Good. That's kind of nice, because he doesn't get into your chocolate. You don't get into his chocolate. That solves a lot.
Exactly.
Especially now, because you both are at home working together, right? You're both, yeah. So how's that going?
Yep.
How's that going?
We're both still alive.
You haven't.
No, it's been fine. It's actually probably the ones having the harder time with it are the cats, because they're used to sitting in her spot when she's not home. So they've
Oh,
lost their living room chair.
That can't be. Lisa, you'll just have to find a new place to sit. There's no way around it.
Well, we suggested the floor, but she doesn't agree with that.
Okay, so Tim's a milk chocolate, Lisa's a dark chocolate, and I'm glad that neither of you are white chocolate lovers, because honestly, I have trust issues with people who are white chocolate lovers. I'm just kidding. I don't really. Okay, so I would like to know how you guys met. And there's an awkward
Oh.
Yeah. Well, we worked together at Radisson Hotels, and actually, it was basically I don't like going to movies by myself, and unfortunately, there was a weekend where nobody was available, so I was looking for somebody to go with me to a movie. A mutual friend of ours said, "Well, Lisa really likes movies," so I was like, "Oh, okay, well, I said." If she wants to go, that's great. I'll pay for everything, purely platonic. Um, I'll take care of all the movie stuff and that. So we did, and then I think we lost Susie.
Uh-oh. And Julie says, hi. Hopefully we'll get her back here in a second.
Yeah. Oh, she's coming back?
Oh, sorry about that. I am so
That's
sorry.
okay.
Okay.
Well, so anyway, basically we met through work and struck up a friendship, and then ended up dating.
Okay. Can you hear me yet?
Yep.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't hear you.
There you go.
You can hear me?
Can you hear us? Yeah.
Okay. I can't hear anything here. Hang on. Okay. I'm not hearing anything.
Can you hear us now?
Tim, I'm seeing your mouth move, but I'm not hearing anything.
Many people would like that.
Hang on. Okay.
So Gretchen said she's excited to already have a copy of the book.
But I'm not hearing anything.
Lisa, she's not hearing anything.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I cannot hear anything.
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Okay.
Are you able to get out and come back in?
She can't hear us.
Oh.
Says everyone.
Sorry for the technical difficulties, folks.
But I can't hear you guys. Okay. Okay, did that help at all?
Can you hear us?
Something, Tim? I can't hear anything.
Something. Susie, can you hear us?
Comment in the comment section if you can hear Tim and Lisa. Okay, what do you think, Lisa? Check your mute button. So the mute button, it says audio is fine. Everything was fine and dandy.
Okay, Kathy
What do you
says
think,
she can
Lisa?
hear
Shall
all
I
of us.
call you, or you want to call my phone, and then I don't know if we can continue it like that.
Lisa?
Yeah, just a second.
Here's something.
Okay, now it says that Lisa is muted.
You're muted, Lisa. For the folks at home.
Hey, Tim, if you can, Tim, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, so let me ask you a question, and maybe you can just kind of start talking about that, and then Lisa can maybe fix this with me. Does this sound good? Okay. I would love to know, and so you're gonna have to tell me later. But what is your favorite location in the book besides Master's Hand? But that was a spoiler alert. Master's Hand is in the book. But what is your favorite location? What is your favorite location, and what location surprised you the most?
Wow.
So
my
you
favorite
talk,
location.
and Lisa's gonna fix everything for us because she's like, she can fix anything, right? Okay.
Lisa,
So go ahead.
can you have her try to go out and come back in? So
Yep.
favorite location in the book, that's really difficult for me to say because there are a lot of great places around the state. I'm probably gonna have to say my favorites are probably a tie. Right, Carhenge because of its quirkiness, and then Chimney Rock because of its
Hey, so
historical
I think
significance.
right. So if you can try and come back in, let's see if that works.
Okay.
Okay.
So because of the
Bye.
historical significance to the state, and the fact that I was into my 50s before I ever saw it for the first time, and then when I did see it, it was spectacular to me. Place that probably surprised me the most in the book. Honestly, I think like the Museum of American Speed in Lincoln, because I went in expecting to see kind of, some old race cars on display, but the museum is a high quality organization, great layout, great exhibits. The history of the cars just fantastic. And I think I even told them that it's well worth more than what the admission price is. So I would say that would be my biggest surprise. I can't hear her. Can't hear you, Susie.
No, we can't hear you. I thought I heard something for a second.
Is her audio on?
I don't. It's not muted.
Okay. Yeah. The audio up. The volume turned up. I heard something. Technology. Well, for all you folks at home who are tuning in, we do apologize for the technical glitches. I would like to blame Lisa for all of these issues. So Susie, you can hear me.
Of course.
We can't hear you though. We can't hear you. Lisa, are you muted?
No, I'm not muted.
Okay.
Can you not hear me either?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Somebody said they thought you were muted.
Okay. I was a little bit ago.
Well, what do you expect doing a book launch during a pandemic? Trying to do a virtual book launch.
These are weird times, right?
Yeah. Isn't it Shakespeare? What can go wrong will go wrong. Or whoever.
You got to roll with the punches.
Have Susie write questions in the chat. Somebody said have Susie write questions in the chat.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. People can hear us but not her.
Okay.
Have her text the question or put it in chat.
Good idea. Just a moment. And Jody asked about some of our, while I'm getting with Susie, Jody asked, what are some best historic places? So maybe if you want to tackle that, Tim.
Okay. Probably some of the better historical places to visit in the book. Arbor Lodge, which is the home of J. Sterling Morton in Nebraska City. His son actually started the Morton Salt Company. Each one of their four sons was really involved either in business or in government, and achieved a lot of success on their own. But the actual Morton house was like a 4-room cabin, and then their oldest son turned it into a mansion that resembled the White House, and then later donated it to the state. So Arbor Lodge in Nebraska City is a nice historic attraction. John G. Neihart, his visitor center in Bancroft, you can actually see the one-room study that he used to write his books. And then also, I think I had it in my head and I lost it. Oh, the Genoa Indian School in Genoa, which is a little north of Columbus in central Nebraska. That had it was a boarding school for Native Americans for about 50 years, and so kids were taken from reservations around I believe like 14 or 15 or 20 states, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry, 20 tribes, 14 or 15 states, and they were brought to Genoa for their education. But the main building is still there, and it's a historic site. And then some of the outbuildings have been were sold to local farmers and residents, and so I mean some of those buildings are still in existence. But those are some of the more interesting historical places. Oh, I agree with you, Lindsay. Played Oregon Trail. Please tell me you did not die from, what was it? Well, I can't remember what the common disease was that a lot of the people in the game died from. But yeah, it was on my bucket list for a long time. Oh, very good question, Gretchen. How did we narrow down the locations? We actually had quite a few, well over 100, as you know, with your book, Detour Nebraska. A lot of places to see and a lot of things to do here. I think we reached probably about 150 or so, and then we decided to pare it down. So we did pare it down to 100 right off the bat. And then what we did was we looked at where each of the items on our list were located, and we wanted to make sure that we represented the entire state and not, we weren't too heavy on the Omaha side, or we were too heavy on, the western side of the state. So we wanted to make sure we balanced it out and that we had some diversity there, that we represented the state, and all of its people. So I'm not sure everybody would agree that we did, but just a yes, Lindsay. But I think we did our best to make sure we balanced it out, to represent the entire state. So there were some things that we initially had on there that maybe got removed, and things that we had initially removed got added to kind of balance it out. Agreed. You'd like it. I know you would like both of those. Lisa, care to tap dance, or you want me to keep tap dancing? Well, while Lisa and Susie are working on whatever they're working on, we do have the book is divided up into five main sections: food and drink, amusement and entertainment, sports and recreation, culture and history, and then unique attractions. So we tried to make sure, not, like culture and history had a lot more in it than the amusement, entertainment. Sports and rec had a little bit more, but we tried to make sure we balanced out the sections so that we had quite a bit of interesting things in there. You bet. Susie is asking about a story that I'm doing about Burt in Burt County, involving Hoot Gibson. I'm actually working on a story for a magazine based in Northeast Nebraska called Living Here Midwest. It's based in Neely, and Lindsay Hinman from Sioux City is also one of the writers. It covers Northeast Nebraska and then Southeast South Dakota. But what I'm doing right now is I'm working on a story about Hoot Gibson, who is originally from Takema. He is he was a silent movie star and who transitioned into sound. He was a cowboy, and he lived in Takema for his first 7 years before his family moved to California. And then after high school, he worked various jobs, but one of them was being a cowboy. Well, it turned out one of his roommate was none other than the future movie director, John Ford. And when Ford started making movies, he cast Hoot Gibson in some supporting roles, to make a buck. And eventually Hoot Gibson ended up enjoying the acting side of it, and so started acting. And so he was popular with silent movies. And then when it transitioned to sound, he actually, between World War I and World War II, he and Tom Mix were the most popular Western stars in Hollywood. So it was Tom Mix, Hoot Gibson. Those were those were the big Western stars. Those were your early days of John Wayne and Clint Eastwood, those guys. Well, then eventually, after World War II, or when the singing cowboys came to be with Roy Rogers and Gene Autry, well, then Hoot Gibson and Tom Mix, those guys, they fell off to the side. Well, Takema recognizes Hoot Gibson being from there, and they have a rodeo every year, the Hoot Gibson Memorial Rodeo. So I'm actually working on a story related to a little bit about the history of the rodeo, but then the history of Hoot Gibson. So I think it's neat having that Hollywood connection to Takema. So, and Sherry, you don't remember me, but I remember you, because Phyllis is my sister. I'm the youngest boy. So I remember you guys hanging out together in Kennard. So Sherry Matson's asking how I'm related to Phyllis. So Phyllis is my sister. So hello, Sherry. What was our biggest surprise during the research? Wow, that's a really good question. And I tell people I thought I knew Nebraska pretty well, but apparently I think I learned a lot about the northwest side of the state. Like part of the Panhandle area, and a little bit the north central part, because that's never been my stronghold for like Valentine West. So I did learn a lot about like the Museum of Fur Traders in Chadron, the history of that was around long before the United States was a country. It was still that they had the British had a fur trading company there, and they would work with Native Americans in the area, and French Canadian fur traders would come down. So the museum there, it's on my list to make sure that we see next time we're out in that area. So I would say probably the Panhandle side of the state, and a little bit of the northwest section of the state was probably what surprised me more about having so much to see.
Let's see. Just a second.
Oh, Susie's asking, have we visited any other chocolate shops in Nebraska, and tell her about them. Okay, well, I know that we visited Baker's Candies in Ashland, or Greenwood. Sorry, I meant Greenwood. And their melt-aways are fantastic. And I actually took some up to my brother in Niobrara, he and his girlfriend, a couple of weeks ago. And they love them. And so I would say I know we've done them. Lisa, you're more the chocolate person. So Old Market, Stom in Papillion.
Chocolate Abea.
Huh? Please.
Chocolate Abea.
Oh, yes. Yep. So, okay. Susie is saying, tell us about our trip to Nebraska Land days. That was super special. It was correct me if I'm wrong, Lisa, wasn't it the 50th anniversary of Nebraska Land days? I believe it was, but anyway, it was a big celebration, and they brought back the Buffalo Bill Wild West show for that week, and it was so much fun. You had the Buffalo Bill character, you had the other cowboys, and Native American performers. So you had like a stagecoach robbery, and then you had some native dancers. You had some horseback riders that would do tricks. So it was just it was a lot of fun. And then we saw Lady Antebellum, the country music group, country pop, whatever, perform there. And then, it's a big, carnival atmosphere. So a lot of fair rides. It was just a lot of fun. I mean, they do that up pretty good for, what is it, like 9 days, 11 days? It's a big celebration. I know that. That was so much fun, though. And okay, the Wayne Chicken Show, that is on our list to do, Susie. We have not gone there yet. So we will go because this is too much fun. When I read about it, researched that one, that was, the Wayne Chicken Show had to be in the book because I've talked to too many people who have gone there and had too much fun. So, and then, it just started, basically as just try to do something for the community, which is fantastic. And it's really grown. So that is we're looking forward to going there and seeing that. What are the top 3 things to visit and do with COVID-19? Oh, Bob Carey Pedestrian Bridge. I agree with that. That's my favorite spot in Omaha is the bridge. So I can't argue with doing a nice walk along the river and, crossing the Bob. I know that you can drive through the Lee Simmons Wildlife Park out in Ashland. You can't get out, but you can drive through and see the animals. So you can see the elk and the bison and the deer and the cranes and all of the waterfowl. So that's another thing. And then of course state parks. I know the visitor centers and a lot of the play areas, the camping are closed, but I believe you can still go on the trails, and at least you can drive through and visit the parks. So those are things to do. I did see Gretchen mentioned in her 100 Things to Do in Lincoln that she's got a couple of chocolate places. What do you think would surprise people about Nebraska? Well, Teresa, my sister from another mother. I think people who come to Nebraska, if they get off the interstate, they will find Nebraska is not flat and it's far from boring. There, we do tell people you have to get off the interstate to see Nebraska, because you get off, you get to see the rolling hills, the sand hills that, with the prairie grass in the middle of the summer, it looks like an ocean because it's just it's an ocean of prairie grass that just goes for miles and miles. It's just, to me, it's one of the most beautiful things to see in America. But Toadstool Geological Park would be another one that, because of the unique rock formations that resemble toadstools, that would be a neat. That's a fun area to get out and explore. People, I just think if you get off the interstate, and you explore, you see a lot of geography that you wouldn't think you would see in Nebraska. As a little boy, what did Tim want to grow up and be? Well, all right. So when we lived in Kenner, my nickname was Cowboy because that is what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wanted to be a cowboy. So every Halloween, I went as a cowboy because I already had my trusty 6 shooters, my hat, my boots, my bike. My bikes were my horses. They even had shoestrings tied to the handlebars, so for the reins. So yeah, it was. I wanted to be a cowboy when I grew up. So didn't quite get there, but still.
I think it's kind of funny coming from a Native American that wants to be a cowboy.
Plenty of Native American cowboys, dear. You saw that in Oklahoma City. But yeah, my nickname was Cowboy. And yeah.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about Susie's shop because it is number 17 in the book. And the title is, it's, like I said, number 17 in the book, and it's Sample the Sweets at Master's Hand. And Susie right now and her team, they are adjusting to the current social distancing and doing some different things. They're doing cookie decorating kits. And today they were actually giving away free beverages to essential workers out there. So they're doing some great things in their shop, and they've got the, of course, the great goodies and chocolates, and they're doing drop-offs to different neighborhoods that have said, come see us. We want to get ourselves some Master's Hand treats. And so they're doing some different things, and they're being inventive and pivoting and doing a lot of great things. So Susie, kudos to you and your team for all the things that you guys are doing a little differently and making it work.
Did you mention the sugar cookies?
Oh yeah, the sugar cookie decorating kit. And actually, I was trying to work on a slide that showed Tim's cookie, but we did a live unboxing that our youngest cat decided to show up in, and he couldn't wait for the box to get open because he wanted the box. But we got the cookie decorating kits, and actually Tim made he decorated one of his cookies as a Vikings cookie, and it had purple frosting with a gold horn. And so even adults can have fun with decorating cookies. It's not all for kids.
Agreed, Nicole. That is, and theirs is so much fun. Susie, can you try to talk again? Okay. Somebody said they thought they heard the noise change.
So Jody wants to know, is Willa Cather in the book? And absolutely. Actually, Willa Cather, the Willa Cather Center in Red Cloud is absolutely in the book. And we actually have plans for an event out in Red Cloud in August for their, I'm going to mess this up, but it's a car event. It's a heritage car event out in August that is held in Red Cloud, home of Willa Cather. So we've actually stayed in a B&B in Red Cloud. It
was the Cather second home.
The Cather second home. Thank you.
So yeah, you can take a tour of Red Cloud of locations around town that were inspirations for people and places in her books. So it's fun. But yeah, we actually have Willa Cather, Marie Sandos, John G. Nyhart, and I think my mind is letting me down, but I believe we have one more author. But we try to get the big authors in there. Oh, that's for you, Susie. Did you see that? The items on the outside of your store, are they for sale? Yes, they are for sale. Mark T. said. Yes, we stayed in that home too. Did you see the ghost that night when you were there? Sean wants to say hi. Not really. He's being shy now. He's being shy. You want to say hi to people? You say hi. Say hi, Sean. I'm Sean. Yeah. What else do you want to tell us about Master's Hand, Lisa? Oh. Where's the picture of the cookie? You don't have that with you, do you? Let me see if I have. Do you have that on your camera?
It is already eaten, because that was actually one of her other questions. Was it gone?
I don't know if you can see that very well. I don't think so. No. Bummer. But purple with the, oh yeah, it's gone. It was gone that same night. It was delicious. The frosting. Oh man, the frosting is good. Yes, Pioneer Village is in the book, Thomas. And the first time I went there, I was a little kid. Our family took a long vacation, went to Minden. My folks had friends there, and we toured Pioneer Village. And then Lisa and I went back a few years ago. So yeah, it's still there. It was just how I remembered it as a kid, with the addition of a few more things. But yeah, it's definitely, I think it's a very interesting place to visit. And Susie's asking what our next book is. Well, we don't know yet. We have some ideas, and we're running them by the publisher, but we'll see if they're interested in any in this batch, or we come up with something else, or we work with a different publisher. But we've got some ideas.
Okay, so we are kind of wrapping up, coming to the close of the hour. I can't believe that time already flew by so fast. Again, we apologize for all of the technical difficulties. We really wanted to hear Susie's voice. Sorry, I don't know what happened. But we do have a couple of giveaways to give away tonight. We want to know what your favorite Nebraska getaway is, or what attraction you want to visit. Tell us and tag someone that you want to plan a Nebraska adventure with. And all comments on this topic will be entered to win a copy of the book. And Susie is also giving away a gift certificate or gift card and chocolate.
Where do they note their favorite getaway and tag us on?
Wherever whatever platform they're on right now.
Okay.
And let's see. There was one more question I was going to put up here. Oh, it was about Jody wanted to know about Johnny Carson.
Yes. He was born in Corning, Iowa, but he considered Norfolk his hometown. And actually, he donated a large chunk of his personal memorabilia to the Elkhorn Valley Museum in Norfolk, and it's there. And they're actually working on building a larger wing to have more of his memorabilia showcased. But you can actually see a replica of his Tonight Show stage. They have a mannequin that actually looks like him wearing one of his suits with an NBC camera. It's all cool. There's some of his interviews are on loop on a TV in front of, in a living room environment setting. So it's kind of cool. His Emmys are on display. A lot of other items involving him, Ed McMahon, Doc Severinsen, the whole Tonight Show gang. So it's really cool. A lot of TV guides with his picture on the cover. Just a lot of memorabilia, and they're actually working, like I said, to build a bigger wing for him. So, and then you can actually go. Somebody bought his house, his childhood home, and they renovated it. And I don't think they've really done anything with it yet, but there is a sign outside that says Johnny Carson's home. Downtown has a great mural of his professional life, and it starts off in black and white, and it ends up in color. And it starts black and white when he's working for Channel 6 as an afternoon TV show host, and then it goes to I believe, I'm not positive now, but I believe it has his last show on the Tonight Show when they wore their tuxedos in that. So they have that, and then a part of the Highway 81 is named after him. So, and then the theater at the high school is named after him because he donated a bunch of money. They actually have a summer comedy festival, which is in honor of him, and national comedians have performed there.
Looks like
she's back. Yeah.
No,
it's like
no
it's like she's got laryngitis on the internet.
Well, we want to thank Susie again for having us and hosting. We're so sorry it didn't work the way it was supposed to. We even tested this a couple times during the week and it was fine. So of course it has to happen this time, but that's okay. We just roll with the punches, right? So we thank everybody for being here and for coming along with the adventure, and keep asking your questions. We do have we want to again thank Susie for hosting and for having us, and we absolutely, Susie, you're such a joy to be around, and we can't wait to see you in person and get some more. And we've got more chocolates to enjoy, so I think we're going to have some caramel corn tonight. We've got a couple of movies we've got to catch up on. But we also have another event coming up on May 7th. May 6th, sorry, Wednesday, May 6th at 7 o'clock. We're going to be with Muriel Clark of North Platte for National Tourism Week. We're going to talk about North Platte and, again, some about the book. So keep an eye out for that event, and we'll see you then.
Bye. Thank you for joining, everybody. Thank
Thanks,
you, Susie.
guys.